ACC basketball tournament today in round 1, game 1. It's the number 1 seed, the North Carolina Tar Heels, against 8th-seeded Clemson. We're set to take the lid off this thing, and Billy, we've already been tricked. We were informed 10 minutes before we came on the air that Kenny Smith would not start, and there he is. He's in the starting lineup. So a late change by Dean Smith.
One of the reasons for that might be with Doherty out of the lineup, he wants to get a little bit more scoring in there, so he brings in Joe Wolf, takes Doherty out, then he's got Hale to come in off the bench.
Sam Perkins controls the tip. North Carolina gets the first possession, and the 1984 ACC tournament is underway. 3 days of excitement to go here in the Greensboro Coliseum. Sam Perkins.
Straight man-to-man by Clemson.
Jordan to Perkins, and the jumper is down, and North Carolina's on top 2-0.
And Fred, I don't want to over-dramatize this particular ball game, but it's really important. Remember what happened the last time these two teams played in this gym this year. It's important for Clemson to get something on the board early in this game and not get in a drought.
Raymond Jones. Solid defense again, as always, being played by North Carolina, but Warren Wallace gets an open shot. He comes up short. Perkins clears the rebound. Lenny Wirtz, John Fogerty, and Tom Cream are the officials for this game. That's Doherty from the outside. Joe Wolf with an offensive rebound, and Kenny Smith will try the jumper short.
Pulled up short. There's the shot, both by Smith and Doherty were not really aggressive shots that were put up there.
Murray Jarman was a man with the rebound. Warren Wallace hounded outside by Michael Jordan.
Let's see if they can get the ball to Jarman with Wolf on it. That'd probably be the best matchup that they've got.
Jarman tried to bounce it inside. Wolf took it away. Michael Jordan floating on the wing.
Good pass.
And Perkins is fouled by Jenkins. Two franchises on the same team.
Dean Smith going to that bench early, and Sam Perkins just got a little shot there. He's going to come in with Dave Popson in a hurry.
Sam Perkins was just named the 3rd consecutive time to the Basketball Writers All-American team, and Michael Jordan was named the Player of the Year by the Basketball Writers.
When you look at Sam's statistics this year in every category, tops on the mark in the foul shooting, rebounding, field goal shooting percentage, and scoring. He's up in the top 5 in every category. It looks like he's going to the dressing room.
Sam Perkins is going directly to the dressing room. Dave Popson has replaced him. And they never even hesitated. He was headed for the bench, and Popson it was who turned him around and said, no, go to the dressing room. So now North Carolina without 2 starters.
Popson jump out on Jones. Great play.
Jordan's look out. First 2 for Michael Jordan. The Carolina defense forces the error. It's 6-0 North Carolina.
And they're ready for another trap. And although Popson hasn't played a lot of ball this year, just watching his physical abilities, I think he's going to be a great player at Chapel Hill. Another steal.
Warren Wallace to Murray Jarman. The shot is good. You know, Warren Wallace was a man they stole the ball from. He'd only turned it over 14 times in 245 minutes coming into this game, so he's done a pretty good job of taking care of it.
We remember his big game, Fred, was right here on this court. He came in as a sub that night. Nothing was going right for Clemson, and although they never win the game, he had a good, solid performance himself.
You understand Sam Perkins did not go to the dressing room because of an injury, because of an equipment problem. We're going to change some equipment. He'll be back out.
There's Wolf setting the screen on the baseline, getting called for the block.
First foul on Joe Wolf. First foul called in the basketball game. 17:40 left in our first half. It is 6-2. North Carolina. Michael Jordan takes a seat on the Tar Heel bench.
How about a team ranked number 1 in the nation right now on the court? The game only 3 minutes old. They've got 3 freshmen.
Amazing. Wallace against pressure. He's trapped. Hale came up to help Kenny Smith.
Jenkins, a good jump shooter. They want to have him at the end of that pass to get the jumper when they're in a trap.
Boy, they keep incredible pressure on you. It's the first time Vincent Hamilton's touched the ball for Clemson. Anthony Jenkins just trying to find a shot against this defense.
Fine defense.
A whistle blowing on the far side. A foul called against Popson. Changed some equipment. He's back on court. 6-2 North Carolina. 17:15 left in first half action here.
Murray Jarman signaling he might want the lob. There it is. Great pass. That was a hand signal over to Hamilton while the referee was signifying, is everybody ready? Good hand coordination.
That is not an easy pass to throw, and it was a great pass from out of bounds. Murray Jarman has 4 at 6-4 North Carolina. Kenny Smith.
If you think the game hasn't improved, imagine that play 10 years ago. Huh? 10 years ago today was the Maryland-North Carolina State game, what they call the all-timer in the ACC.
Matt Doherty hitting a shot. First 2 points for Matt Doherty. Well, I remember you telling me once you saw an NBA highlights film from the 50s when nobody jumped above the rim.
That's right. All the rebounds were captured. Guys standing flat-footed. Another good backdoor cut.
This is Raymond Jones. Oh, he missed the shot inside, and Walt pulls the rebound down. North Carolina with a 4-point lead.
Jones should have had that one. He was right in position to score.
Smith to Sam Perkins. Far side to Hale. Now Matt Doherty. Penetration.
Really, Clemson giving up that penetration awfully easy, and if you continually do that against North Carolina, they're going to get some easy baskets.
Sam Perkins was looking for the lob. They couldn't get it, but now he does.
Good block.
Oh, and partially blocked. Jones had a hand on it, but Perkins picks up the loose ball. Bill Foster thought a foul should have been called.
Excellent timing that time by Jones.
Matt Doherty, heavy traffic. Balls off the side of the rim, but Perkins is right there to put it back. Sam Perkins has 6 points in the early going.
That's a tough break for Clemson. They had the ball in their possession twice. Jones losing it the second time, and North Carolina gets it easy too. 15:30 left in first half action here. Murray Jarman had the ball knocked loose, shot it and missed. And Doherty to Kenny Smith. The Tar Heels getting penetration again. Hale from the wing. Clemson in trouble, as I mentioned, Fred. If they're going to allow North Carolina to penetrate into the foul line area, you just can't cover because they all move so well without the ball.
It is 12-4 North Carolina. The Tar Heels up by 8 as Jarman fires from the baseline and picks up his 6th point. He has scored every Clemson point so far in this game.
It's a case where Kenny Smith lost the handle a little bit when he had to go to his left hand with a dribble. Did you notice that?
He has that heavy bandage, a soft cast on that hand. Hale Steve Hale just reversed against Vincent Hamilton and scored easily. It's 14-6 North Carolina.
Breakdown by Hamilton defensively. If you know a man's breaking out to the far side, you've got to be aware when you play North Carolina. He's coming back with a backdoor cut.
There's the trap again, but they beat it, and Jarman slams it home back over his head. 8 points for Murray Jarman, 14-8 North Carolina.
Murray Jarman gives a signal. He's a little tired. It may be well be. Fred, he's got every point for their team. He's really breathing heavy and bending over. He's got to get his second win.
Joe Walt to Matt Doherty. He has the shot from the circle, and it's good. Matt Doherty has 4. 16-8 Carolina. Dean Smith.
Watching Jarman, he's really breathing heavily right now. Maybe a little emotional anxiety in his part. If he gives it another minute or so, he'll get his breath back.
Raymond Jones with an open shot from the circle. Can't get it down. Sam Perkins to Kenny Smith. To Matt Doherty.
Nice play.
Foul. Raymond Jones had a hand on him. It'll be the second foul on Jones.
Last year in the ACC opening round, when these two teams went against each other, remember Matt Doherty had one of the best games statistically of his career, and today he's playing aggressively offensively, taking the ball right to the hoop.
He had 28 in that game last year. Excuse me, I said the second foul on Jones. That's his first.
Wallace sitting down now. Raymond Jones sitting down. Both teams substituting freely here.
Clemson has hit 4 out of 8 shots. North Carolina has hit 7 out of 11. And here's Matt Doherty, a 77% free throw shooter. Nothing but net.
Fred, North Carolina, and one of the things you look for a great team, particularly in NCAA tournament play, which they'll definitely be in, is what can they do from the foul line. And North Carolina is a team this year shooting 79.1%. I mean, that is a great stat.
They're second in the nation.
Harvard still leading the nation, but, you know, a little difference in the personnel there.
We have a timeout taken here with 13 minutes, 46 seconds left in first half action. Our score now, North Carolina 17. Fred White along with Billy Packard. Nice to have you back with us. The announcers for this game are approved and selected by Raycom Sports, Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, duplication, or reception of this telecast without the express written permission of Raycom Sports, Jefferson Pilot Teleproductions is prohibited. Popson missed the shot. Perkins had it, was stripped. The ball is out of bounds and belongs to Clemson. Tigers get it, down by 9. Matt Doherty returning now. Cecil Exum will sit down for North Carolina.
Well, that's an interesting substitution. You have Exum comes on the court during the timeout situation, plays for basically, what, 3-4 seconds, and then goes and sits down again.
And now Popson sits down. Joe Wolf is back in. Boy, Dean Smith really shuttles him.
And now he's in the zone defense. 2-1-2. I wonder if they're going to trap out of this.
Well, John Madry hands us a stat that really tells the story so far. North Carolina out-rebounding Clemson 9-1 so far. There's Horace Grant, the freshman, with a quick turnaround jump shot. He comes off the bench and picks up 2 quick points. The first Clemson player other than Murray Jarman to score.
Dangerous pass. Doherty never did see Jenkins over on that sideline. Tried to throw it cross court, which is something North Carolina does often, but I don't believe that Matt Doherty saw him.
17-10 North Carolina, 13-17 left in first half action here. Game 1, round 1, the 1984 ACC tournament in the Greensboro Coliseum. It is packed.
Good screen by Hale on the inside. Sets another good screen. This one on Jarman.
Michael Jordan in the lane is fouled. Horace Grant got it.
Anybody that watches North Carolina play a lot will realize that when Michael Jordan has not scored a while, he'll put the ball on the floor and just take it to the hoop. And because of his incredible ball handling ability and ability to go up in the air, it's almost impossible to prevent him from getting off something that's decent.
Michael has his right thigh a little bit bandaged. There's Horace Grant, the freshman. He has a twin brother who is redshirted this year at Clemson.
That's off.
Michael Jordan misses the free throw attempt. He has 2 points so far in this game. Again, the Basketball Writers Association just named him the Player of the Year in college basketball.
You know, consensus-wise, the #2 Player of the Year has been Sam Perkins in the eyes of an awful lot of people.
And amazing on the same ball club.
Here's the trap coming up. You could anticipate that Clemson was going to see this trap. And look at the arms of Perkins making it so tough.
Now Jarman tried to lead Vince Hamilton, and he chases the pass down in the corner.
Vince doesn't have a shot off yet.
Trying to get the ball inside to Murray Jarman again. He's going to take the turnaround jumper. Good. Murray Jarman has 10 points. 18-12. Carolina by 6. The Tigers staying with him right now.
Fred, based on performance, Murray Jarman's got to be one of your favorite players. And what he's done in a short period of time at Clemson, just a solid performer.
He is really fun to watch. Sam Perkins with a little jumper off the baseline, short. And Clemson had 2 players get a hand on the ball, Jarman and Horace Grant, and they lost it. Michael Jordan from the deep corner.
Tough break for Clemson again. It's the second time today they had an opportunity for a good defensive rebound and lost it. Carolina turned it quickly into a point.
Mark Hamill in trouble.
Hale puts Hamilton down on the floor with good tough defense. Good backdoor.
Now they go backdoor. Vince Hamilton got off the floor and scores his first 2 points.
What happened there? Hale had put him down on the floor, kind of got their legs tangled, and Hale went over to help somebody else out. Smart move by Hamilton to get himself up and go to the basket.
North Carolina leading by 6. There's Doherty in the backdoor, and he's fouled. The basket's going to count. Horace Grant committed his 2nd foul.
Second time today, and Bill Foster upset with Vincent Hamilton. Second time today he's gotten caught from coming out under the basket, being too aggressive, and have a man go backdoor. Hale the first time, and that time Doherty.
There have been a lot of backdoor baskets scored already.
We'll see it right here. You'll see that Vince Hamilton was running way out to take care of Doherty. Now, if he'd just be thinking a little bit, Fred, Doherty is not going to put up many shots from the side. Certainly not from 16, 18 feet. So why are you so worried about beating him out there to that spot when if he takes you back door, he's got a 2-foot layup?
Matt Doherty with 7 points so far in this game. Make it 8. Completes a 3-point play, and we have the timeout taken here. First half action in game 1 of the tournament. 11:39 left in this half. Carolina up by 9. Welcome back to the Greensboro Coliseum. This ACC basketball game has been brought to you in part by Mazda, by Holly Farms, and by Boss Bakeries. There's our situation. Carolina's up by 9 with 11:39 left in our first half.
Fred, the game certainly isn't over at this point, but North Carolina is slowly gaining control of this basketball game. And for Clemson, you can't let them get away too much further. They start moving that baby up into double figures, and all of a sudden the handwriting becomes on the wall for everybody, and they're tough.
Earlier this year here in this Coliseum, North Carolina won 97-73 as Chris Michael nails a shot off the wing. And then at Clemson, in the last game of the regular season, Carolina beat Clemson 82-71. The Tigers played pretty well. Kenny Smith has 2.
That pass by Michael Jordan, he went baseline. Normally a guy draw a charge there, and he fired the ball back outside.
Tar Heels lead by 9 with 11:06 left in first half.
They go to their 1-3-1 zone defense. Wolf running the baseline. Kenny Smith out on the point. Puts Perkins in a great position to rebound in this zone.
Grant draws a crowd. Hamilton from the deep corner with that high lob shot of his. The ball tapped out front. Campbell trying to pick up the loose ball. Can't. And he winds up on top of the press table just down to her left. Good effort, but to no avail.
But that's why we can't have Cokes here during the ACC tournament. Skeeter Francis, who thinks of everything and runs this tournament with an iron fist, has no Coke cups on the press court.
Remember, right at Clemson last year, you and I were doing a game when we got the whole table turned over.
That's right.
And ball right through the hands that time of Joe Wolf. And Clemson out of control a little bit. Now they're going to give it back to Campbell for the long try. It's in and out. And here we go the other way. Kenny Smith running it for North Carolina. It's deflected, and Horace Grant picks it up for the Tigers.
That's all right, though, to push the ball up there if you're North Carolina. You've got a 9-point lead. You're trying to blow the game open at an early stage. So it's a pretty good move. And good defense by Clemson hustling back.
Jarman with Wolf on him to Mark Campbell. 10:03 left in first half action. Clemson down by 9 to North Carolina. Jarman in the middle, shoots over Perkins. It's blocked and taken away by Perkins to Kenny Smith.
No place to go.
That was an outstanding block by Perkins. He caught the ball in the air.
He's got the jump shot.
Did he do it at both ends? He did. Sam Perkins now has 8 points.
Kenny Smith did a smart thing, too. He realized that they had no fast break opportunity, took the ball out the side, set up the half-court offense.
The 11-point lead for North Carolina, their biggest lead so far.
Now they switch back to man-to-man defense. So tough to play against them because you never know what you're going to see.
Hamilton with some penetration. They're going to call a foul on Kenny Smith, I believe. It'll be his first and just the second on North Carolina. Clemson's been whistled for 4.
ACC tournament, hopefully move on into the NCAA.
They choose what, 8 to work the tournament, is that correct?
I believe there's 8. I heard that one fellow couldn't make it.
27-17 now North Carolina by 10. Hamilton missed the second free throw. Smith.
Good ball fake that time by Hale, opening up everything.
Matt Doherty from the circle. He's having a good day. Matt Doherty now has 11 points in this ball game, and Carolina up by a dozen.
If you're Bill Foster in the scouting report, you're saying we're going to let Doherty try to beat us with his scoring. When you give him that opening, he can score.
Sam Perkins having a good day with 8 points and 7 rebounds, and there's Mark Campbell burying one from the deep corner. First 2 points for Mark Campbell.
Nice job by Campbell because he had Perkins running out at him, and he concentrated right on the rim.
It's a 10-point lead for North Carolina. Glenn McCants getting set to enter the Clemson lineup here.
Clemson going to 2-1-2 zone themselves. Had trouble man-to-man. Perkins was camped in that lane.
They threw the lob in there. It was knocked out of his hands and belongs to North Carolina. There's McCants checking in for Clemson. Grant sits down.
I think Sam Perkins was wanting to get out of the 3-second area that time. Otherwise, he probably would have dunked that shot.
It's Matt Doherty out of the Carolina lineup. Anthony Jenkins is also returned for Clemson.
Got Jenkins and Michael in there. Good block.
Campbell blocked Wolf's shot from behind. Smith kicks it off to Perkins from the corner. And McCants clears the rebound for Clemson. Here come the Tigers down by 10. 8:19 left in first half action.
North Carolina man-to-man.
Look at the pressure on Campbell from Kenny Smith. He's bothered by it.
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Now, one thing fans have got to remember when you're playing against North Carolina, you don't want to pick up that dribble in that area because they're going to pressure you all over. And it's the 5-second count starts and does not end until the ball is touched by another player on your team. So even if you threw it to another player, the count would still be on until he touches it.
Hale to Michael. Jordan. Michael's been very quiet for a while. There's the cross-court pass. Back in the middle to Perkins. He had it knocked loose, and Jones picks it up. Clemson has the basketball. Down by 10. Michael.
He can hit that shot.
Anthony Jenkins throws it back up, and Perkins rejects it. Oh, he slammed it halfway up court.
I think that shocked the referees. I thought for sure that that ball was on the way down.
Bill Foster asking for goaltending.
Yep. I think Sam Perkins was so quick he shocked the official on that play.
He did get there in a hurry, and now we have a timeout taken with 7:39 left in.
We're going to talk about the block that we saw a little while ago. There's a shot from the outside. Now watch what happens here. That ball was definitely on the way down. Sam Perkins just shocked everybody by being so quick off his feet. Now watch it right here. Ball on the way down. Sam standing right on the basket. Has those long arms, as everybody knows. They say 43-inch sleeve length. And in addition to that, he's an excellent leaper. Excellent timing. That's the whole package.
He just came out of there so quickly. He just appeared and batted it and went back down again.
Yeah, you know, it takes you a while to puff on that whistle. And if you're not ready to, what is it, exhale, I guess.
Well, it all turned out all right because Clemson got the 2 points anyway. Anthony Jenkins knocks one down for his first two. And it's 29-21 Tar Heels with 7:25 left in the first half.
Michaels and Jenkins out there. Clemson really has two good wing shooters.
There's a lob to Michael, but he was a little bit off balance, didn't get up high enough, and now he's limping a little bit coming back up court.
Yeah, he made the backdoor cut and had anticipated coming back out again, and Hale had already thrown the ball, and just because of his athletic ability, he was able to get to it, even though it was behind the backboard.
I mentioned earlier he's playing with that right thigh bandaged a little bit, and he was limping a little coming out of there. Clemson down by 8. This could be a big bucket for him. Campbell with the try from the corner. It's good. 6-point lead to North Carolina. Mark Campbell gets his 4th point.
Yeah, that's the second time Campbell's hit the jumper from that spot with Perkins running right at him.
6:54 left in the first half. Now the Clemson fans starting to get a little excited here in Greensboro. Their ball club staying with the #1 ranked team in the country. There's the lob to Sam Perkins. It's good, and Sam Perkins now has 10.
That's just the way to be diagrammed on the board. People overplay the post man, so you throw it back out, and he had the defensive man pinned on his hip.
Michael Jordan couldn't quite come up with a steal, and Jenkins is wide open. It's in and out, and look at Michael Jordan come from the outside to claim the rebound. Kenny Smith with a jump in the circle. Oh, my tip. What an athlete. What an athlete.
If he would have made that one, been all over the floor in that sequence.
That's Murray Jarman. Tip try by Jones won't fall, and here comes Carolina up by 8. Kenny Smith in the circle down the lane. It's good. He's going to be called for traveling. The basket won't count.
Oh. Now wait a minute. That was a great drive. If that was walking, I'd be shocked. Here he comes. Great crossover dribble. That's not walking. That's a good layup. There's nothing wrong with that play.
Boy, he hit a tough shot at the end of it with 6:03 left in the first half now. Clemson gets the ball back down by 8.
Again, I believe you had a situation there where the official was shocked. How in the world did he get in that far? Must have been walking.
Murray Jarman on the outside to Mark Campbell. North Carolina in a zone at the moment.
Play that 1-3-1. You've got Joe Wolf running the baseline. Perkins in the middle.
Anthony Jenkins steps in on the baseline. Nice fake. The shot won't fall. Chris Michael with a tough rebound attempt, but he can't get it. Here comes Carolina. Smith to Hale on the wing. Perkins. He got it. Sam Perkins has a dozen points. He's having a good first half.
It's amazing how versatile he is offensively. He goes outside, takes the 20-foot jumper, then he goes inside, makes a little half hook. Now it's back to man-to-man.
The lob to Jarman. Murray Jarman has a dozen points. 3 slam dunks.
Notice how Wolf got his head out of the way that time once he realized Jarman caught it.
33-25 North Carolina. 4:56 left in first half action here. Hale deep on the wing for the Tar Heels. Perkins off the baseline. And Anthony Jenkins with a rebound. Clemson again could get within 6.
Nice rebound by Jenkins. Wolf is starting to bang with Jarman a little bit. I think he's embarrassed to have 2 slam dunks put in over his head.
They go inside to Jones. The ball's knocked loose. Jenkins shovels it right back to Jones, and he wants to get rid of it. Does. Campbell with a long try. Nope. Perkins has the rebound. Here come the Heels up by 8 with 4:21 left in the first half. Smith's there again. It's knocked loose. And out of bounds to North Carolina.
Campbell did a good job reaching back in from the outside.
Michael Jordan, Dave Popson returned for North Carolina. Horace Grant replaces Raymond Jones for Clemson. Wolf sits down. Kenny Smith will take a breather for North Carolina. Dean Smith.
Fight like hell, Tiger!
And a good job by Clemson so far, Fred. Just when it looks like they're going to be knocked out of the game, they're hanging right in here. And the longer they can stay in this ball game, more confidence they're going to pick up.
Hale with a lob, and Michael Jordan battling for it, but Horace Grant claims it for Clemson. To Campbell.
That was a lob to Pops.
All alone is Michael from the baseline, in and out. Sam Perkins rebounds.
Sam's got it. He's got 10 rebounds now, a dozen points. Having quite a first half.
We're still in just the first half. Jordan had a notion, didn't take it.
He will
now. He will. Short. Campbell the littlest guy on the floor, picks up the rebound. Clemson gets it back down by 8 again. It's the third straight try they've had to cut it to 6. 3:34 left in the first half. Anthony Jenkins, Horace Grant. Michael off the circle, in and out. Clemson has missed 4 straight pops at it now.
Good pass.
Long pass intended for Popson. It's out of bounds. Clemson gets it back.
That was an excellent pass by Hale, but you've got to take into consideration how hot it's going to come up off the floor. A tough catch from Popson.
We have a timeout taken here in Greensboro with 3:22 left in our first half. North Carolina. A number of other features. There's your score. North Carolina leading by 8. We understand that we're getting some flashes of light, and those flashes that you see on your screen are from still photographers' strobe lights are touching them off in here, and apparently we're getting some interference because of it. So we're going to ask you to bear with us. Look at that. North Carolina with 21 rebounds, Clemson with just 9.
Well, when you look at that stat, you'd figure Clemson out of this ball game completely, but they're not. They're hanging in there pretty well. They've got a chance right now, get it down to 6. North Carolina goes back to the zone defense. They've been controlling the boards in this zone defense. If Clemson doesn't get a basket, they usually don't get that second chance.
Inside, Jarman with the jump hook, and he got it. Murray Jarman having a big first half. He has 14 points, and it's a 6-point lead to the Tar Heels.
And for the second time, Sam Perkins got a shot. This time he's down. It looks like he drew a little blood here.
I did not see it happen.
I don't know if it's hand or if he got it in the nose.
Mark Davis, the Carolina trainer, is looking him over, so they're going to have to take him out of the ball game or call a timeout.
I think he got it in the nose. But this has been a revolving door. We see Jarman scoring again. It's been a revolving door for North Carolina in terms of substitutions, but that's nothing new for them. It's something they constantly do, and then usually the start of the second half, they go with their first team for 10 or 11 minutes before anybody gets in to substitute. It looks like Sam got one right in the bridge of the nose.
He might have a bloody nose. At any rate, he's holding that towel on it. We'll keep an eye on him for you. 3 minutes left in the first half. North Carolina leading by 6. Brad Doherty not playing today because of an injured hand.
You look for Michael Jordan to take a jump shot in this sequence.
Of course, Clemson doesn't want to hear it about anybody else's injuries. They've had so many of their own. They've missed 6 starters at one time or another this year because of injury.
Clemson playing that zone pretty well right now. 2-1-2 with Jarman in the middle. North Carolina trying to free up Michael Jordan here.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Now 5. Jordan's going to try it from outside. Oh, what a shot by Michael Jordan. He has 7.
Well, when you've got Hale in the ball game and Wolf and Doherty and Popson, with Perkins out of that game, you know that Michael Jordan's the guy they want to go to. So just a matter of time, and he came through for him.
Anthony Jenkins, he's a good shooter too, but that one won't go. Grant tipped it twice and got it. The freshman Horace Grant with 2 offensive rebounds. He now has 4 points. Again, the 6-point lead to Carolina.
He's going to be a good one. Just a freshman, as you mentioned, Fred. He's got good size. I believe he's going to be a big man too. You can see that he's going to develop.
And he has the twin brother who's redshirted. They're from Sparta, Georgia. Popson with a quick try out of the circle. Can't get it. Matt Doherty had it knocked loose, stolen by Campbell, and now Clemson could get within 4. 1:34 left in the first half. Grant to Jarman. He got bumped on the baseline and could not get a good shot out of it. He was too deep and hit the side of the glass. Doherty right back with a try.
Popson over the back.
Foul on Dave Popson. I'm sure that as things are developing right now, Bill Foster's going to be feeling a little better at halftime than Dean Smith, even though Dean's ball club could have the lead. There's still 1:21 left in this half.
Well, and you hit it on the head, Fred, at the very start of this show, that the longer the Clemson can hang on in here, it's going to be the key. Confidence being a major factor in a tournament game like this.
Campbell against Jordan. Clemson down by 6. Vincent Hamilton from the deep corner. It won't fall. Jordan clears the rebound. Up to Matt Doherty.
Good Popson running on the break.
Smith to Wolf from the top of the circle. Good. Joe Wolf buries one from the top of the key. His first 2 points.
Amazing the versatility of the big guys. Wolf goes outside, puts one up. Sam Perkins has been hitting outside jumpers.
North Carolina up by 8. 44 seconds left in the first half. Anthony Jenkins tripped by Doherty. First foul on Matt Doherty. Just the 4th foul on North Carolina. Only 4 fouls have been called on Clemson. There haven't been many whistles in the first half.
Which is a good job by Clemson, particularly playing in that man-to-man defense. North Carolina very seldom gets into foul trouble.
40 seconds left in the first half now, and the shot clock is no factor. Let's see if Bill Foster would want to play for the last shot. He's down by 8 going into halftime.
I believe it'd be a very smart move to pull it on out of there, make sure he gets one shot, do not give North Carolina an opportunity to get off the last shot.
That's what he's going to do.
Smart move.
28 seconds left in the first half. Clemson down by 8 and holding.
What Dean Smith wants his team to do is to pack way back in until it gets down to about 6-8 seconds and then come flying out on it. Or is he giving pressure on the ball, everybody else packing back in? They've switched the man-to-man now.
10 seconds left in the half. Smith with pressure on Campbell.
You can commit a foul here.
Jarman short with a try. Michael Jordan rebounds. 3 seconds left. They've got Kenny Smith from 30 feet. No good. But Clemson has stayed with North Carolina for one half of action here. It is 37-29 Tar Heels as we hit. Let's check the individual scoring for both these teams. Here's the Clemson scoring. Murray Jarman with a big half. Only had 1 rebound, but got 14 points and 3 dunks, excuse me.
Played extremely well and made the shots early, Fred, when North Carolina had that 11-point lead and looks like they had an opportunity to just blow it open early. Murray Jarman kept sticking in there and making some nice shots.
Sam Perkins having a big day for North Carolina. He has 12 points in this ball game. He also has 10 rebounds in the first half. Matt Doherty with 10 points, Jordan 7, Hale 4, Smith and Wolf 2. And Billy with 9:09 left in the half. North Carolina went up by 12 points, and if they had put together a run right there, they'd have blown it out. And that was where Clemson really just went to work and got themselves back in this thing.
Exactly, and also North Carolina, as I mentioned in the first half, likes to substitute a lot during that first half, but they don't do much of it in the second half. Brad Doherty not playing at all in that first half, so I would look for in this second half for North Carolina to stay with his starting lineup for a good portion of time, at least 6-8 minutes, maybe 10.
Saw that Dean Smith has won 9 ACC tournament championships. Tar Heels have won 10. Vincent Hamilton gets a quick bucket down to start the second half, and it's a 6-point lead.
You don't see that happen very much against the North Carolina team where a man drives from actually 35 feet.
Kenny Smith, Matt Doherty. Close defending. Quick turnaround foul by Wolf. Won't fall. Warren Wallace. Here comes Clemson down by 6. Look out, Warren. There's Michael Jordan deflected a ball from behind him. You can see it coming. Matt Doherty. Sam Perkins.
And nobody really down there to rebound. It's very unusual to see North Carolina position putting up shots. Another turnover. Tough break for Clemson.
Warren Wallace threw a pass to Vincent Hamilton, who wasn't looking. It hit him in the back.
Warren said to Vince, "You were wide open, but there was one problem, Fred. His back was turned."
Hit the wrong side of him open. 19-11 left in the ballgame.
Vince kind of looked at him, turned his head, and went the other way.
Sam Perkins. Another big 2 points for Sam Perkins. He has 14 in the contest. 39-31 North Carolina. So Clemson got 2 shots at cutting it to 4, couldn't do it. Now they're down 8.
Jones had his head turned that time by Perkins.
Murray Jarman, Raymond Jones, Anthony Jenkins. Jones knocked off balance. It's Warren Wallace at the baseline, and he turned it over. And here's a case where Warren Wallace, I mentioned earlier today, had turned it over only 14 times in 245 minutes coming into this game, and Carolina's giving some problems, Billy.
Well, sometimes when you have something go wrong, like that last pass where he threw it off Vince Hamilton's back, it stays with you a little while mentally, and you can see he turned the ball over immediately again.
18:34 left in this game. Michael Jordan, Anthony Jenkins defending. Matt Doherty over Hamilton. Didn't take him long to post him, did it?
Matt Doherty really looks good offensively, doesn't he, Fred? He's looking for the shot, very positive in his stroke.
Tar Heels by 10 with 18:15 left in the basketball game. Jones tried to get it to Murray Jarman, and Clemson making some careless mistakes right now, and it's costing him.
Well, they didn't turn it over but 2 times in the first half, and they've turned it over, what, 3 times or 4 times right here in the beginning of the second half. 4 times in less than 2 minutes. That'll get them into serious trouble.
So now they're down by 10. Carolina with the lead and the basketball.
Hard to understand why, because those turnovers really weren't created by tough defense.
Michael Jordan badly off balance, hits the deck, but he's all right. The ball is out of bounds to North Carolina after the scramble for the loose ball rebound.
Michael Jordan just created a play that time. I mean, there was no shot there. I don't know, everybody talking about the fact that Clemson players are hitting guys on the elbow going up for the jump shot, trying to get the referee's attention. You saw Brad Daugherty doing that.
Sam Perkins. Kenny Smith with the jumper, in and out. Anthony Jenkins clears the rebound. I tell you, Clemson's doing more to hurt Clemson right now than North Carolina as we start the second half.
Yeah, Jones just fumbled the ball again.
And another bad pass. Kenny Smith takes it away. Comes in on Hamilton.
Good hustle by Wolf. And there was a case where Kenny Smith did not have the full use of that left hand. And it is, although he thinks it's not handicapping him much, he's a different player because he's playing with about 1.5 hands right now.
I really think it does, Bob.
Yep.
Mark Campbell. Anthony Jenkins. Wolf clears the rebound. He's starting to do the job on the boards.
What a pass. Tough pass to catch by Matt Daugherty, but boy, that was some pass by Michael Jordan. Right, threaded it right through some people. You see it right here. Watch this pass, right up the dribble. Boom. That ball had been thrown just a little bit lower on the letters. It's been an incredible play.
The turnovers don't cost you. North Carolina's had 8 shots this half. Clemson just 2. Tar Heels have hit 3 of them. Clemson's hit 1. And now we have a whistle blowing along the lane. It's a foul on Anthony Jenkins, his second foul.
Another turnover here without getting a shot off, Fred. You cannot afford to play against a team of the caliber of North Carolina and get yourself in a situation where you're not even getting a shot off.
Billy, I wonder if Clemson, as close as they were at halftime, didn't sit there and think about it and maybe get a little too fired up. Who knows what's in their minds right now, but at any rate, they're over trying.
Well, they're back in his zone defense now with Maury Jarman up at the top.
12 matches the biggest lead of this game. Michael Jordan fouled by Anthony Jenkins that are going to put Jordan on the line, and that's 3 fouls on Anthony Jenkins. Steve Hale back in the lineup for North Carolina. Michael Jordan on the free throw line. 1 for 2 today. Has 7 points.
These two teams are playing in their 9th game of all time in ACC tournament competition, and Clemson has never had a chance to win one. I wouldn't say they have a chance. I'd have to go back in the record book there, but they've never won one.
North Carolina has won 15 straight games here in the Greensboro Coliseum. Jordan's free throw got the front of the rim and stuck. Clemson, on the other hand, has never had much luck here. They're 4-18 in this building. They're going to call a travel on Maury Jarman.
Now there is that time and distance rule. Once Maury Jarman got the ball, Hale did not have to provide him with any room whatsoever to put the ball down on the floor. You see the play right here. Now, I didn't think it was a walk. I thought it was a foul. But in any case, it wasn't Hale's problem.
Hale on the wing. Matt Daugherty. Sam Perkins turned into traffic. He's tied up by Horace Grant.
Good defense by Horace Grant. Realizing Perkins wants to roll to his left. Came over from the weak side. Created the jump ball situation.
North Carolina will keep the ball on the alternate possession rule as you look at the Tar Heel bench. I understand this. They haven't changed that arrow. Now they do.
Notice also, Fred, an ACC tournament crowd. You have a lot of major donors that get here. You don't have that student body enthusiasm. Michael Jordan gets it slapped against the backboard, gets it back.
So Michael Jordan gets 2. A lot of the crowd thought he had traveled, but he did not.
Well, the ball was hit by a Clemson player, then hit the backboard, so when he got it back, it wasn't a walking violation. He's recovering.
Carolina breaking it open here. They're up by 16. Jenkins from the deep corner, fouled by Sam Perkins. That's the first on Perkins.
Because even if you've got a contingency in the case of Clemson and Carolina in this particular game, the other 6 schools, the fans are fraternizing right now. They're watching the game with like a passing interest, but they're really not totally involved emotionally in the game.
Jenkins, in and out.
And normally what would happen in a game like this, let this shot go up, but normally in a game like this, the crowd would start pulling for Clemson if they saw they had a chance for an upset, with the exception of the North Carolina fans. And so what Bill Foster wants to do is keep his team in the game as long as possible.
Dean Smith, Bill Guthridge on the left, Eddie Foger on the right. This is Vince Hamilton. This is Bill Foster. This is Vince Hamilton.
He's got that high arch on his shots. And you notice he stands back off the line 6 inches or so, which is very unusual.
Clemson has turned it over 7 times this half. North Carolina 1, and that's a potential 12-point swing. Hamilton gets both free throws down. We have timeout. This one comes with 15:37 left in this basketball game. North Carolina with a 13. Welcome back. Fred White along with Billy Packer, the North Carolina cheerleaders, cheering because their club is up by 13 with 15:37 to go. This is game 1 of round 1 of the ACC tournament. Georgia Tech and Duke tee it up next.
And you notice, Fred, North Carolina has not substituted with the exception of the Hale Smith situation in this half. So Dean Smith stays right with that starting lineup. A lot different from the first half.
Michael Jordan to Hale. Sam Perkins.
Tough shot.
Off with a hook. I'm not sure who had that. Matt Doherty is probably who will be credited to, but I think one of the Clemson players may have helped tip that shot back in.
And Michael Jordan looked like he got a little piece of it, but it is going to be credited to Doherty, as you pointed out.
14 points now for Matt Doherty. 15 minutes left in this game. North Carolina up by 15. Grant makes it 13. 6 points for Horace Grant.
How about that quickness by Jordan? That was a bad pass. He made it look like an easy catch.
He just reached out and brought it back. He make a great infielder for a baseball team.
Oh, nice play.
Sam Perkins. 16 points for Sam Perkins, and the Tar Heels are starting to roll. They're up by 15 with 14:30 left in this game.
And here's where the problem really arises for Clemson, Fred. The minute that they realize that they cannot win this game, then fellas say, hey, things start to disintegrate, and you really have a problem because North Carolina will continue to play their solid ball game.
Murray Jarman with another jump hook. His first 2 points of the second half. 16 points in the game now for Jarman.
That Doherty, nice drive.
Doherty simply outran the defense, and he now has 16 points.
Doherty asked to come out on that play. Dean Smith went up to the center's court where Kenny Smith is, and maybe he'll take Doherty out instead of Hale.
Matt Doherty just matched his season high. Murray Jarman again. 18 points, Murray Jarman. He's putting on a pretty good show. 13:43 left in this game. North Carolina by 13. Wolf found Sam Perkins in the circle. Nice fake shot short.
Sam putting a lot of backspin on his jump shot today. 3 seconds. And you see Sam trying to get out of the lane, and he was caught, and he jumped and tried to jump out of that lane, but not in time. He realized he'd been really in there a long time.
Clemson with the basketball.
Dean Smith saying that one official called one thing and one official called something else.
I thought Dean thought a foul had been called. He's giving you the number of the player he thought it was called on, in fact.
Well, Dean really reaching there. He's got himself in a pretty safe position right now, just trying to let the referees know that he never goes to sleep on the bench.
I'm watching you every minute. Murray Jarman from the deep corner rings the bell, and he has 20.
Just as was the case in the first half, Fred. Just when North Carolina ready to blow it open, Murray Jarman took over.
Well, Jordan answers that one with 2 of his own. He now has 13 points, and it's Carolina by 13 again. And Murray Jarman's such an athlete.
There's North Carolina going back into that zone. They really haven't been pressuring Clemson a lot, realizing they got to play 3 games in 3 days if they were to get to the finals. So they're trying to conserve some strength here in the first game, which they have pretty well under control.
9 points now for Vincent Hamilton, 55-44. North Carolina, 12:43 left in this contest. Again, Georgia Tech and Duke coming up next. Wolf, the ball hit him on the foot. Mark Campbell got knocked off balance.
Jump shot by Jenkins.
It's good. Anthony Jenkins.
You got to pick him up when he comes down there because he's going to go ahead and take that jump shot. And he hits it very well. And here Clemson on the back of Murray Jarman stays back in the game again.
Now, Billy, just what you talked about. I see some of the Duke fans starting to swing to the Clemson side here in this arena. Kenny Smith with a long try will quiet some of it down. He has 4 points.
You always find that. Teams say, hey, we would much rather play Clemson down the line than they would North Carolina. So you start picking up that contingency of the other 6 schools.
Horace Grant outside to Mark Campbell. 11:55 left in this game. Clemson down by 11. Murray Jarman. Tapped by Vincent Hamilton. The offensive rebound to a guard. He has 11 points. 9-point lead for the Heels.
North Carolina definitely not playing as intense as you would see them normally. Seem like they're very comfortable to swap baskets here.
Brad Doherty not playing at all today. Hale tried to get it to Michael Jordan. It jammed against the board, and the ball is out of bounds. Belongs to Clemson. The Tigers down by 9 as we get a timeout here. The Clemson fans starting to hope a little bit. 11:34 left in this game. North Carolina up by 9. Horace Grant, the freshman, will handle the inbounds pass.
North Carolina showing full court pressure. They haven't done this much today.
Campbell picks it up. Kenny Smith with him backcourt. Campbell wants everybody to clear out and let him go. And now the trap comes. Hale, they clear it to Grant.
Grant puts that ball on the floor, shows you a little something there.
Inside to McCanson, he missed the shot. Michael has a rebound. He's in trouble with it. Clears to Hamilton. He's two-timed and gets it to Grant. To Campbell, and now they'll set the offense again.
The intensity level really picked up for that little sequence.
Freshman Horace Grant nails it down. He has 8 points, and all of a sudden, Clemson back within 7 here.
Great job by Grant, too, against that press when he put the ball on the floor. Now you can feel it. Virginia fans up, starting to root for Clemson. Some of the Duke fans are up rooting for him.
Tigers are winning the arena right now. The Tar Heels winning the ball game. And it's closer than expected with 10:41 to play. Michael Jordan to Matt Doherty. 57-50 North Carolina. Michael Jordan too deep in the baseline. Saved outside by Hale, and Kenny Smith is all alone and buries it.
Everybody aware that when North Carolina starts getting in need of 2 points, that Michael Jordan's going to start taking over. And when they surrounded him, he wisely threw the ball back outside.
Mark Campbell. Horace Grant. Michael all alone. Too strong with a try, and Michael Jordan with a big rebound. Look at him handle it in traffic. He's in trouble at the baseline, and they're going to call double dribble. Clemson gets the ball. Michael Jordan objecting to the call. 10:04 left in the game. Clemson hanging tough. He needs help and finds Horace Grant, the freshman, to Vincent Hamilton. Take the jump shot. Good. Vincent Hamilton. 10 points in the second half, 13 in the game.
Down to 7, and Clemson switching back and forth. They're playing a little man-to-man now themselves.
Wolf, Sam Perkins, Kenny Smith. 9:43 left in this game. Perkins kicks it right back out to Doherty. Hale, nice fake. Now they've got Smith all alone. Great passing by North Carolina, but the shot won't fall. And here comes Clemson down by 7. Mark Campbell, way up. He has 6, and the Tigers fighting back. They're down by 5.
Now there is a crowd in the ball game. We expect to see Michael Jordan back in this game shortly.
Matt Doherty running the big 2, can't get it. Sam Perkins with a big offensive rebound.
And Michael Jordan up off the bench. Dean Smith knows that this game could really get tight. He lets Clemson keep rolling as they are.
Doherty all alone, pitched once, but he got it. I really didn't expect to see that shot go.
I didn't either, Fred. That's a very difficult shot to make when you're all alone out there. You're looking to pass, not shoot, and finally you're kind of embarrassed into taking it.
18, Matt Doherty, that's his season high. Our Heels by 7 with 8:37 to play. Vincent Hamilton, tough shot. In and out.
Oh, Wolf really blocking out. Moved Grant all the way out to the baseline.
Watch Smith run the break, and Matt Doherty is going to be called for charging. Solid defense played by Mark Campbell.
And Doherty really expressing his dissatisfaction. We'll see the play. Kenny Smith bounces it over. Here comes Doherty. Are you telling me that that man was planted defensively? Wasn't even close.
I think he was.
Wasn't even close. Doherty was absolutely right on it. His judgment of that call.
Dean Smith and the Carolina bench reacting. 8:22 left in the game. Clemson has the ball down by 7.
And North Carolina goes in their 1-3-1 zone. Good penetrating, perimeter shooters here. Campbell being one of them.
They left him alone, and Mark Campbell drilled it. He has 8. 5-point lead to the Tar Heels. 8:04 left in the game.
They have Campbell out there and Michael out there and Hamilton. All three can make that jump shot against that type of zone.
Jordan to Matt Doherty. Kenny Smith. Sam Perkins got Grant. He's hit and stuffed it. 18 points, Sam Perkins, and you can see it coming, Billy.
A good positioning by Perkins.
North Carolina by 7 over Clemson. 7:39 left in the game. Mark Hamill. Blocked. Michael Jordan got a hand on it.
There's Kenny Smith again. Not able to use that left hand as normal. Lost the handle on it.
7:25 left in the basketball game. 63-56. North Carolina leading Clemson here. Again, Georgia Tech and Duke up next in the ACC tournament. Michael Jordan.
Jordan and Perkins can post up so well on the inside.
Jordan has 15 points. Those are pretty quiet points.
Yep.
7 minutes left in the game now. North Carolina up by 9.
Well, you have to be impressed with Grant. His overall play. Puts the ball on the floor nicely.
He's a pretty good passer.
Yep. There he is again, putting it on the floor. A little bit tough pass, so.
Just as we say that, he almost turns it over, but he fights and gets it back.
The distance was so short there between himself and Michael. It's a tough pass to catch.
Clemson better be aware of the shot clock. 11 seconds left on the clock. They've been handling the ball a long time. Murray Jarman down the baseline. Getting shot won't fall, and it's going to be a charging foul on Jarman. The first foul on Murray Jarman.
I think Jarman realized it right there. You see that protected mouthpiece coming out. He wears that all the time.
We have a timeout taken here in Greensboro. Clemson hanging tough right now. 6:26 left in this game. North Carolina leading Clemson 65-56. Welcome back to the Greensboro Coliseum. Fred White along with Billy Packer. North Carolina up now by 9 points with 6:26 left in the game. And coming up next, Mike Krzyzewski, this year's ACC Coach of the Year, and Bobby Clemens, last year's ACC Coach of the Year, meet as the Duke Blue Devils take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets tonight. First game in the evening session, it'll be North Carolina State against Maryland, and then Virginia and Wake Forest hook up at 9 o'clock. Game 1, round 1, unfolding now in the Greensboro Coliseum.
You can see kind of interesting. Clemson really has turned it around shooting percentage-wise in the second half, but in the first half, where they never turned the ball over but 2 times, second half they've turned it over.
Steve Hale up along the wing. He's in the game with Kenny Smith now.
Michael Jordan pushing off Michael on the inside.
Michael Jordan,
good block.
Partially blocked. The ball is out of bounds, and it belongs to whom? Clemson. I have the feeling that was a big trip from the Clemson point of view for North Carolina. They could have had them down by 11 if they had scored right there.
And you know the delay game is coming. You know, when that clock is shut off here in another about a minute and a half, minute and 20 seconds, North Carolina going to make Clemson chase him a little bit.
Jarman bounced to McCants, and he lost it. Michael Jordan. Oh, what a save to Kenny Smith. Back to Jordan. Here we go. Off to Hale, and the shot no good. Doherty saves it.
He's having a good ball game.
That is a big sequence for North Carolina right there. What a save by Michael Jordan back at the other end. Smith to Hale to Smith. He's all alone on the baseline. The shot is good. Kenny Smith now has 8 points.
You notice Kenny Smith really following through on the jumper. His jump shot actually looks better now than before his injury.
11-point lead, North Carolina with 5:17 left in this basketball game. Murray Jarman, he's had a big day.
North Carolina back in that zone. Look for Michael and Jenkins. Get one of those jump shots from the wings.
Campbell to McCants to Chris Michael. Anthony Jenkins from way outside. No good. And Kenny Smith brings it up in a hurry. Lead pass to Michael Jordan. Oh, what a save.
Again, no play that'll ever show up in the record books, but how many guys can even make that catch?
Oh, that was amazing. He did it one-handed. Kenny Smith is hammered as he comes in the lane.
You notice that Kenny Smith was going to throw that ball back over his head, which he did. Look for that lob situation right here. North Carolina likes to throw that ball right in over the top. There it is.
Into Wolf, and right back outside it goes to Matt Doherty. 4:36 left in this game.
And here they are, 4 corners.
Clock is off.
And the reason for this is that, again, a lot of coaches believe that you got to play to go all the way for 3 full games. There's a foul on the outside holding Jordan. You got to prepare to win the championship, you got to figure you're going to play 3 games in 3 nights. So you want to force the other team to do all the work and try to come out of this game with nothing more than a good practice. And again, North Carolina probably spread them, and Clemson's going to have to come out, and this is a lot of time to go in a game, 4:23. And in this particular case, North Carolina is not going to hold it to run out the clock. They're going to aggressively be looking in their offense to score here.
5 team fouls now called against Clemson in this half. Carolina's only 3. Matt Doherty going strong to the basket is fouled by Horace Grant, his 3rd. I'll tell you what, Carolina's going to the hook.
They are going to the basket. This is not an all-out freeze. It's a case where North Carolina is going to the basket to score. And Doherty's impersonation of Dr. J there. I've never seen him go to the hoop quite as aggressively as he has today.
So now Matt Doherty will be on the free throw line. He has established a season high with 18 points. His career high 28 came against Clemson last year.
In the opening round of the ACC tournament.
So he's seeing history repeat itself here today. Now 19. Good free thrower. 77% shooter is Matt Doherty.
One of the best role players in college basketball, has been throughout his career.
20 points now for Matt Doherty. 4 minutes, 8 seconds left in the game. North Carolina up by 13 points. Murray Jarman, the baseline, gets his 22nd point of the afternoon. And Clemson takes an immediate timeout to stop the clock and set some strategy up here. This timeout comes with 4 minutes and 2 seconds left in the game. So with 4:02 left, Bill Foster and Clemson stop the clock here after Murray Jarman scores, and it's now North Carolina 69, Clemson 50. Bill Foster has seen his ball club battle and battle hard here.
You know, it's interesting, Fred. I talked to a reporter in between the halftime there that's from New York City, and he said, I can't believe that a club like Clemson is in last place in any league.
Matt Doherty fouled by Murray Jarman, the 3rd foul on Jarman.
And there's a lot of talk that Clemson playing a solid ball game today may be in line for an NIT bid.
I was thinking about that earlier in this half, Billy. If they just don't get themselves blown out of this thing, that may happen for them. We understand that the NIT has inquired about them playing a home game possibly.
Probably one of their most disappointing losses came against Marshall this year. They played out in that UNLV tournament. But other than that, they've had some fine moments, and when you take in consideration the injuries that they've sustained, they played very solid basketball this year.
21 points now for Matt Doherty. And make him 22. He's had a nice day.
Good job by Maury Jarman. Michael Jordan trying to beat him to the inside in a foul line situation, and Jarman showed his strength, moved Jordan right out of the way. North Carolina stays in that 1-3-1. They've shown a lot of different looks defensively today. One thing they haven't done as much as usual is put a lot of pressure on.
71-58, North Carolina.
Now Clemson is letting a lot of clock go by before they put up some shots. They've got to be worried about the clock now because it's an opponent for them.
Murray Jarman, with 24 points, establishes his career high, and Clemson calls another timeout. So Murray Jarman with a career high 24 in the first round of the tournament here today. And with 3:24 left in this contest, there you look at Jarman on the bench as Clemson stops the clock. And North Carolina now has an 11-point lead at 71-60. Matt Doherty has had a very big day here also.
I guess fans to realize by now, having watched as much basketball as most of our fans do over the course of the year, that the coach only got 3 timeouts in a TV game. So Bill Foster wanting to go ahead and stop the clock, but not much he can do after this one.
Well, the last time these two teams met was at Clemson, and North Carolina won at 82-71. That 11-point margin, just what North Carolina holds right here. Earlier this year, in this very building, Carolina blew them out, 97-73.
You know, Fred, a lot of people talk about North Carolina, too, assuming that they are going to win this ball game and advance on. No pressure on them whatsoever in the tournament, but I still think that the #1 seed in the East is still at stake. Georgetown's having a fine year. They've got a great ball club. If they were to advance through very impressively the Big East tournament and win that championship, and North Carolina were to falter here, there'd still be a possibility that North Carolina would be the one that would have to move out of the region.
Well, I don't know if there's a section of the country right now where the #1 seed really is all that clear cut. They're pretty much up for grabs in postseason play.
That's right. With the exception of somebody is probably going to go to the West. Remember a couple of years ago,
the number 2 team in the East.
Right, where Virginia was number 1 and they got knocked out of the ACC tournament, but still remained the number 1 seed in the Eastern region.
3:19 left in this game.
Quite coincidentally, that year, North Carolina got moved out to the West, but advanced to the NCAA Final Four anyway.
Smith.
There's a little spread.
Michael Jordan down along the baseline. That's dangerous. Sam Perkins kicks it right back out again with 2:56 to play. Tar Heels leading by 11. Running clock now. Joe Wolf.
Wolf's showing he can handle the ball too. Wolf and Grant, 2 freshmen, going to be around this league for a while. Both have a lot of ability. Good touch pass.
Fouled by Mark Campbell. That's the first foul on Mark Campbell. That's the 7th team foul now on Clemson. So North Carolina's in the 1-1.
And shooting almost 80% as a team. That's exactly where they want to be. They go to that line and they do so well on the foul line that it really puts the nails in the coffin if you're the opponent.
Kenny Smith with 8 points a day. He's an 84% free throw shooter. You just can't find anybody in this Carolina lineup right now to foul. Although it didn't go, and Horace Grant clears the rebound. And here's Clemson with a chance to get within 9 points of the Tar Heels with 2:36 left in the game. Horace Grant. Chris Michael from downtown won't fall for him, and Michael Jordan. There's a rebound. Look at that. The move behind his back, plus Vince Hamilton. Kenny Smith.
Again, North Carolina not in an all-out delay. They're looking to score.
2:10 left in this game. North Carolina leading by 11, handling the basketball. Sam Perkins starts to drive on Grant. The foul's called on Horace Grant. That will be his 4th personal foul. That will put Sam Perkins on the free throw line.
Notice Grant clapping his hands there. He's really not cheering for himself. What he's probably saying is, I really let down mentally there because you wouldn't anticipate Sam Perkins to drive baseline in this delay game, but he'll learn with experience.
Anthony Jenkins, maybe Clemson's best shooter, back on the floor now, replaced Chris Michael. Sam is 2 for 2 on the line today. Yeah, nice day. 18 points and a dozen rebounds.
Michael Jordan getting inside Grant in that foul line. Now Maury Jarman, let's see if he moves over to take Jordan. He's saying Jordan's in the lane too soon. Michael just smiling. There they are on the line. Watch to see if Michael Jordan tries to beat Grant to the line. There he goes. So quick with that first step.
There's something I wonder if someday Sam Perkins is going to take too long on the free throw line.
That can happen. And it's a good idea for coaches to warn officials about that and start clocking it from the side.
Mark Campbell misses the long try. Horace Grant's tip won't fall. Sam Perkins had it, lost it. It's out of bounds to North Carolina. And Clemson really upset with the call.
And rightfully so. Sam Perkins lost the handle.
Kenny Smith back in. Steve Hale out. Look at Bill Foster.
Bill Foster.
Official.
Yeah. Here's the shot going up. Michael Jordan battling for inside position. Grant gets a piece of it. Ball's tapped back up. Sam Perkins has it, loses it. Actually, he threw it out of bounds himself.
Perkins to Kenny Smith to Michael Jordan. Ow! Exclamation point.
That was nice sportsmanship by Maury Jarman. Now, he has the ability to go up there and crush a guy that's trying to dunk it, and he just got out of the way. He's a real high-caliber young man. 17 for Michael Jordan. Anthony Jenkins with a fake. Look at Carolina playing hard still. Jordan blocks it from behind.
Tar Heels are up by 15 with 1:25 to play and playing that hard.
Now watch Maury Jarman come across. Now he has that ability. You see how he just held off right there? He could have gone up and postage stamped Michael Jordan on that backboard. It's just a class move.
Vincent Hamilton just scored his 15th point. Bill Foster just spent his last time out. It comes with 1:20 left in this basketball game. Our Holly Farms players of the game are from Clemson, Maury Jarman, and from the University of North Carolina, Matt Doherty. Holly Farms will contribute $1,000 to the Atlantic Coast Conference to be distributed to the institutions under a conference-approved plan in the names of these 2 players. At the end of the season, each player will receive a plaque from Holly Farms recognizing this honor.
But remember, I said at the start of the second half that Dean Smith goes a long time in the second half before he substitutes. Well, with the exception of the Smith-Hale substitution, he let the other 4 players go the whole time. Michael Jordan went out just for that maybe 20-second blow there, but now Dean Smith is substituting freely. But he goes in that second half with that starting lineup, and he makes you beat him.
Gets all the resting done early in the ball game.
And keeps fellas out of foul trouble.
Mark Campbell's second foul. North Carolina, in fact, has had just 2 players fouled out of games this year. Brad Doherty's fouled out 5 times. Michael Jordan once.
That's right.
That is really taking care of business from the bench. Jarman high to spare the rebound. As the free throw misses, 1:08 left in this contest. Campbell trying to feed it back to Jarman. Horace Grant trying to save it. Bumped by Kenny Smith. They both hit the deck. And the foul is on Kenny Smith. That's his second foul.
People in the ACC are going to miss Maury Jarman. He's a very colorful ball player. Excellent leaper. Played hard at all times.
Billy, we talked about this earlier this year. I noticed in the paper this morning that a number of NFL teams have contacted Maury Jarman to see if he has some interest in trying to play football.
You know, one of the things I think that a player should do in that position is go out for spring football at the college, just to see if you have an aptitude for it.
Just to get used to it. Anthony Jenkins with a long try. Can't get it to drop. Cecil Lexham clears the rebound for the Tar Heels. Here comes Kenny Smith with 48 seconds left in the game. Pass is knocked down.
You saw that graphic up there. If it told you anything, that in all the ACC tournament history, no 8th place team has ever had a chance to advance after that first game. So it's very difficult. There's a fella up there who needs a shave.
Popson lobbed to Popson, and he was fouled. So North Carolina looking for their 16th straight win here in this arena.
Grant's going to go out of the ball game.
That's going to do it for Horace Grant. He just fouled out of the basketball game. He fouls out for the 5th time this year.
Probably McCants coming in. What would you figure? No, it's going to be Jones.
By contrast, I mentioned North Carolina has had 2 players foul out. There's a nice gesture. Yep. Horace Grant just shook Dean Smith's hand.
He can tell his grandchildren about that.
Clemson has had 8 different players foul out of ball games this year. We mentioned North Carolina had 2. Popson's free throw is in the air. Good.
He willed that one in.
It's his first point, and now 45 seconds left in the game.
All Popson needs is playing time. A little bit more experience. People next year will wonder, who was Popson? You know, he's one of the most highly recruited players in America. He just hadn't had playing time in North Carolina in his first year.
Good size, 6'9", good strength. Anthony Jenkins, Maury Jarman, jumper off the baseline. Good. He was fouled, and the basket's going to count. Maury Jarman now with 26 points. He's already established a career high, and here comes Timo Mackinnon. The North Carolina fans reacting. It has been called the human victory cigar. So the Dean Smith always puts him in the game when he feels that he hasn't won. This isn't always true, because I saw him in the game real early one year this year in the Chapel Hill.
Well, you want to you bring everybody to the tournament. You want everybody to get a chance to play. And obviously the one player who has not played for North Carolina today is Brad Doherty, who is nursing that hand injury.
I don't know if Jarman missed that free throw on purpose or not, but if he did, it's pretty smart, because one is going to help him. They hope to get the ball back and score 2.
Popson going into that basket, really showing some quickness there.
Well, Cliff Morris made a hustling play for North Carolina as he ran down a loose ball rebound. 22 seconds left in the game now. And Cliff Morris will be on the free throw line, a 6'3" junior from Durham. He's been on the line twice this year and hasn't made a free throw yet.
Well, one team advances.
And now Clemson can only wait to see if they can get a bid to the NIT. But they have put up a pretty good battle here this afternoon.
They really have played an excellent first half, particularly protecting the ball very well. We've got a game coming up with 2 teams. One, Duke University's got to feel pretty good about being in the NCAA tournament already, and Georgia Tech that almost needs a win today.
Maury Jarman with a jump hook.
Well, they ought to retire Maury today. He's had some game.
28 points, Maury Jarman.
Peterson wanted to make the long pass.
That's going to be a double dribble call with 4 seconds left. Clemson still battling. They're down by 12. They'll get the ball with 4 seconds to play.
Well, Buzz Peterson wanted to go ahead and make the pass off that dribble. He just couldn't get the handle on it. Got a man wide open under the basket.
Campbell from about 30 feet. Won't fall for him. And that's the end of the ball game. And North Carolina has defeated Clemson 78-66. But Billy, again, you just about have to take your hats off to the Clemson Tigers here this afternoon. I have to think that they did themselves some good.